some topics related to applied geomorphology. I think this is important. Please open up your textbook, page number 555. Okay, 554. There are 4 or 5 pages. Now, remember some definitions, okay? Not exact wordings, but whatever definitions. One definition given by D.K.C. Jones. Do use his names. Another given by Verstappen. So, first column, please be with me. First column, last paragraph. According to D.K.C. Jones, applied geomorphology may be defined as the application of geomorphic understanding to the analysis and solutions of problems. So it's about application of geomorphic concepts, application of geomorphic understanding to addressing problems and finding solutions, including in areas of resource identification, environmental management, disaster management, dealing with regional planning. The regional planning will include rural development, infrastructure development. It also includes engineering designs. So this is a kind of a quick definition of what is the scope and the purpose of applied geomorphology. Look at the next column, last paragraph. Okay, Verstappen in 1983 has outlined the following areas of interest where geomorphic knowledge and techniques may be applied for understanding and solving problems arising out of interactions of man with environmental systems. So it's about mapping resources, it's about surveying hazards, landslides, rural development, particularly planning land utilization, soil erosion, channel manipulation, and so on. Urbanization, mining, construction, and engineering design. So I think this is a fair introduction, 2 or 3 lines in your answer. So any answer on applied geomorphology, start the answer with a small definition, mention the name of D.K.C. Jones, mention the name of Verstappen, list down. The listing you can also do as a part of some other diagram. You can think of diagram of this kind maybe, if you want to add something, and you can add down what are the components of applied geomorphology. Identification of resources, survey of disasters and the management, environmental management. We can talk about regional planning. Okay, we can talk about regional planning, say rural development and infrastructure. Okay, so you can add something of this kind. Write down few words and you can the components or the scope of applied geomorphology. Now, one question which can be asked to you is, question is, what is applied geomorphology, and discuss its importance in India's regional planning. Okay, so इसमें 2 concepts हैं. One is you must explain what is this, and then explain how regional planning can be done using applied geomorphology. So here it is. Start the answer by saying explain, and this could be 25-mark question or even 30-mark question. Okay, more likely 25 marks in pucha jata hai, so think on those lines. But it will be a longer answer. So you could answer this on the lines. So first, you try to define applied geomorphology and discuss the scope, and write this within about half a page. So according to D.K.C. Jones, according to Verstappen, what they have said, and then you have the scope, what the importance here, and give examples. Examples ke liye you can say, you have engineering design such as dam constructions, say road constructions, examples of managing with a surface hydrology and the flow patterns. You can talk about anticipating landslides and earthquake zoning, understanding coastal erosion and design of structures to protect the coasts. Okay, so give 4 or 5 examples. Then you come to explaining that in regional planning in India, we are dealing with resources, we are dealing with disaster management like landslides and earthquakes, Regional planning includes agriculture-based planning and land use practices. For example, agriculture and water, okay, drainage, agriculture and soils, agriculture and slope management, agriculture and soil erosion control. So a lot of agriculture-based planning requires these kind of inputs. Similarly, you can talk about hill areas planning, again, slope stabilization, earthquake prediction, hill areas and surveying for water availability, landslides, give examples from Western Ghats, give examples from Uttarakhand and cloudburst. Okay, we have a concept called as spring shed development. Have you heard about spring shed development? An idea which has been mooted by Niti Aayog. Yes, spring shed based management. So for spring shed based management, we must have a fair idea about water table. We must know about natural aquifers. We must know about the rock properties and properties like percolation. Then you say geomorphology is directly related to the land aspects and helps mapping of resources and helps mapping of disaster vulnerability. Geomorphology in applied regional planning can also be the basis of region demarcation. Physiographic regions can become the basis of planning units, such as hill area programs, river basin based programs. We have got plateau based programs. We have coastal regions based programs, and each of these have unique conditions that need to be addressed. Damodar Valley Corporation Plan. This is based on the physiographic zonation of the Damodar River. Anam says we can use examples of watershed regions or based regions are also based on the geohydrological basis of demarcation, and that includes your identifying the watershed boundaries. Similarly, you can talk about geomorphology and land use planning. In particular, talking about dealing with soil erosion, dealing with development of Chambal badlands. Geomorphology important for land use capability classification, which is done on the basis of slopes and geomaterial. And this idea ultimately goes on to include agroecological planning, agroclimatic planning, and so on. Okay, so this is also important one. Then applied geomorphology also important in urban planning. Urban planning in what way? Urban planning in terms of identification of building material. Urban planning in terms of water availability assessment. Urban planning and drainage planning. Drainage planning and also flash floods control. In fact, we can add something here that as climatic disasters become frequent, they become more extreme and severe. Lot of geomorphological problems are related to climate, and therefore disaster management of landslides and floods need integrated land use planning based on local geomorphology. So, and this example, you can talk about what happened for Kerala. The Kerala problem, very high rains, severe rains, and this led to landslides because of unstable slopes. The unstable slopes because of mining, because of slope plantations, and so on. एक और example होगा आपका northern plains and floods. 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 Nor are related to the slope of the landscape and the geomaterial, linked to siltation, linked to meandering of rivers, linked to river shifting. Okay, give examples of northern plains and Bihar floods. You can also talk about Chennai floods, southern Chennai, the natural water sinks were destroyed, the natural seepage of water because of encroachment, yes. So disregard, the point is, disregard of local geomorphology can impact long-term regional development. So on these lines, you have an answer with examples, and you can have a conclusion that says how regional planning is integrative approach. It requires interdisciplinary approach which includes geomorphology, climatology, sociology. We must understand the engineering designs also. So finish the answer on those lines. Now I want you to read up, okay, 2 pages, page number 558 and 559. 558 has something on hazard management, and then also read up page number 556 and 557. These 4 pages are good enough for geomorphology and applied regional planning, or geomorphology and hazard management mein ho jayega. Now come to the next one, earth movements, and in particular landslides. So earth movements, these can be very slow or these can be fast. Fast may be very, very fast, and in general, relatively rapid ones. Very slow, these are soil creep, solifluction, they're slow. Very, very fast, okay, we have got debris fall, we have got rock fall, landslides, and soil slumps. And rapid ones may, you have all the others, you have got mud flows, we have leher, these are rapid, okay, mud flows, leher. We have, your book also talks about sheet wash. Now, what are the factors affecting landslides or earth movements? There is a formula given as factor of safety is equal to strength of geomaterial divided by magnitude of shearing force. ये formula है page 261 में है. What are the factors affecting landslides? The factors affecting landslides we discussed from this formula. There's a factor of safety that says that your safety depends on the magnitude of the shearing force. Okay, if you have got high shearing force, the safety is less. Less shearing force, the safety is higher. And the strength of the material. The stronger the material, the more robust the material, the more well consolidated the material, more is a factor of safety. FS is, so the factors that affect slope stability. These are list of 3-4 points. One is the slope steepness, nature of the geomaterial, presence or absence of faults, natural cracks, and their orientation. Orientation of natural bedding planes, the nature and severity of deforming stresses, like what type of earthquake, if any, what type of tremors, if any. There could be certain climatic factors. It also depends on the degree of saturation. So the more saturation, the better, more chances of the soil. And we have other factors also. You have vegetation as a factor, slope modifications by human activities as a factor, terrace farming. Think of hill roads, think of land blasting for mining. And then the question can also include, what are the solutions? The solutions may talk in the context of disaster management and disaster mitigation. So solution will include structural solutions. I'm talking about construction of retaining walls, slope, stone pitching, dams, and water diversion. wire nets, and there are non-structural. These are mostly related to not disrupting natural conditions. इसमें आएगा afforestation, land slope analysis for land use in agriculture. So this should be your answer. And finally, to conclude, geomorphology in urban, in rural, and in hills, slope management. And the answer on these lines.